the boy who had nothing. The village woke up before sunrise every day. Roosters crowed in the distance. Farmers walked through narrow dirt roads carrying their tools. Small tea shops filled the air with the smell of fresh milk tea and warm bread. It looked peaceful from the outside, but for 16-year-old Aarav, every morning began with the same question: how will we survive today? Aarav lived with his mother in a tiny house at the edge of the village. The roof leaked whenever it rained. The walls were cracked. The wooden door barely closed. His father had passed away when Aarav was 10 years old. From that day on, life changed completely. His mother worked long hours sewing clothes for neighbors. Some days she earned enough to buy rice and vegetables. Some days she didn't. Aarav watched her hands grow rough from years of work. One evening, while she was sewing under the light of a small oil lamp, Aarav asked quietly, "Mother, are you tired?" She smiled gently and replied, "Everyone gets tired, son, but not everyone gives up." Those words stayed in his heart forever. Every morning, Aarav attended the government school wearing the same faded uniform. His shoes had holes in them. When it rained, his feet became soaked before he even reached the classroom. Some students laughed at him. "Look at him. He can't even buy new shoes. He'll always be poor." Their laughter hurt deeply, but Aarav never answered. He simply looked down and continued walking. His teacher, Mr. Sharma, noticed everything. One afternoon, after class, he called Aarav to his desk. "You never complain," the teacher said. Aarav smiled faintly. "Complaining doesn't solve problems, sir." Mr. Sharma nodded. "That's true, but remember something. Your circumstances describe where you are today. They do not decide where you will be tomorrow." For the first time in months, Aarav felt a spark of hope. That evening, he borrowed an old biography from the school library. It told the stories of people who had grown up with nothing but still achieved extraordinary success. Some had failed again and again. Some had been rejected countless times, yet they kept moving forward. Aarav read until midnight. As he closed the book, he whispered to himself, "If they can do it, maybe I can too." The next morning, he made a promise. "I may not have money, I may not have expensive clothes, but I will never stop learning." From that day forward, his routine changed. He woke up at 4 every morning, fetched water from the village well, helped his mother clean the house, studied before sunrise, attended school, and after classes worked at a small grocery shop carrying bags and arranging shelves. The owner paid him very little, but Aarav never complained. Every coin he earned went into an old metal box hidden beneath his bed. Month after month, the box slowly filled, not with wealth, but with hope. One afternoon, while returning home, Aarav noticed an elderly man sitting beside the road. His bicycle chain had broken. Many people walked past without stopping. Aarav placed his school bag on the ground and asked, "Can I help?" The old man smiled gratefully. For nearly 30 minutes, Aarav worked with greasy hands until the chain was fixed. The old man reached into his pocket and offered him money. Aarav shook his head. "No, thank you." "But you helped me," the old man insisted. Aarav smiled and replied, "My mother says kindness loses its value if we only give it for a reward." The old man's eyes filled with admiration. "I hope life rewards your heart one day." Aarav thanked him and continued walking, never knowing who that man really was. A few weeks later, the school announced a district science competition. The winner would receive a scholarship. For Aarav, this wasn't just another competition, it was an opportunity to change his future. But there was one problem. The project required materials that he simply couldn't afford. He counted every coin inside the metal box. It still wasn't enough. That night, he stared at the leaking roof while rain dripped into small buckets on the floor. He almost convinced himself to give up. Maybe dreams were only for people born into better circumstances. The next morning, as he packed his school bag, his mother noticed the sadness in his eyes. She listened patiently as he explained everything. Without saying a word, she opened a small wooden drawer and removed a cloth pouch containing a few carefully folded bills. "This is our emergency money," she said softly. Aarav looked shocked. "You've been saving that for months. I can't take it." She gently placed the money into his hands. "This money can buy food for a few days. Education can feed you for a lifetime." Tears filled Aarav's eyes. "I'll pay you back someday." His mother smiled proudly. "You already have." "How?" he asked. "By refusing to quit." Those words became another promise. Over the next 3 weeks, Aarav worked harder than ever. He spent evenings building his project from recycled materials: cardboard, plastic bottles, old wires, broken pieces of wood. While others bought expensive equipment, Aarav relied on creativity. Many classmates laughed. "That homemade project won't win anything. You should save yourself the embarrassment." Each comment stung, but instead of arguing, Aarav kept working. The night before the competition, he looked at his project. It wasn't perfect. Some pieces were uneven, the paint had dried badly, the wires were visible, but it represented something far more valuable. Every late night, every sacrifice, every drop of hope. Competition day arrived. Hundreds of students filled the hall. Bright displays covered every table. Professional models, expensive electronics, beautiful presentations. For a moment, Aarav's confidence disappeared. He looked at his simple project and thought, maybe everyone was right. Then he remembered his teacher's words, "Your circumstances do not decide your future." He remembered his mother's words, "Education can feed you for a lifetime." He took a deep breath. "I didn't come here to compare myself with others. I came here to give my best." When the judges reached his table, they asked many questions. Unlike others, Aarav didn't read from notes. He spoke from experience. He explained every decision, every mistake, every improvement, every lesson. The judges listened carefully. One of them smiled. "You built this yourself?" "Yes." "Using recycled materials?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because I couldn't afford new ones." The judge looked impressed. "No." Aarav looked confused. The judge continued. "You didn't build this because you couldn't afford better materials. You built it because you learned to create opportunities where others only saw limitations." Hours later, the winners were announced. Third place, not Aarav. Second place, still not Aarav. His heart sank. Maybe this wasn't enough after all. The hall became silent. The announcer unfolded the final paper. "And the first prize goes to..." Aarav closed his eyes. He whispered one sentence, "No matter what happens, I will keep going." The next words changed his life forever. "Aarav Singh." For a moment, he couldn't move. The audience applauded. His teacher stood proudly. His mother cried tears of joy from the back of the hall. As Aarav walked toward the stage, he realized something important. The trophy wasn't the greatest reward. The greatest reward was becoming the person who had earned it. Sometimes success begins long before the world notices. It begins the moment you decide that giving up is no longer an option.